What's going on? We're live here from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, John Ting with greencardguys.tv, and here to solve your immigration problem or even prevent it in the first place. Now, if you are just joining now, you're welcome to drop any questions, type your questions in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. I always think it's wonderful to know how far the YouTube channel has reached ever since I created this channel about 2 years ago or so. So it's a lot has happened in 2 years. Actually, it's I guess a little over 2 years because I started this when it was President Trump, and a lot of negative things during that time. But there's a lot of things that need to be changed with immigration reform. We're all still waiting. But today's topic, we're going live every day, every weekday, as best as we, if possible, of course, and we have a specific topic. Now, today is about prosecutorial discretion. Is it dead or not? Now, had to phrase it a little bit like that, because we're coming up is Halloween, so that would be a little fun. But it's not fun and games when it comes to your legal status. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is talk about PD. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. We do offer free 15 minutes, okay, preliminary discussion, see if we can point you in the right direction. Now, we can't help everyone, unfortunately. Sometimes you may need to, if we can't help you, maybe because you're not eligible for something, but there's an actual immigration problem. Well, we typically have some kind of free guide that we can share with you, okay, and has answers to common questions, give you like an estimated step by step depending on the case type. But we realize that you might not have time necessarily to speak with a lawyer yet if you haven't spoken with them before, and that's okay because we do offer available on our website greencardguys.com, and you can go scroll down on a website homepage, and there's a few guides on there. We don't have every single guide on there. We probably have over 20 different guides available for y'all, but there's at least five, I believe, five on the website. So check that out. And of course, you know how I like to talk about how the government is ridiculous with your status, holding it back. And so you can download this free guide right here about mandamus and what it's all about. Okay, looks like my TV monitor is sharing an answer, and I don't know how to tell it to stop. He was a writer, poet, and playwright. That's interesting. The cornerstone of Italian literature. It had the main merit of having foundations for the modern. Oh, there we go. Well, that'd be interesting. Drop in the comments you've heard that. That was. Hey, what's going on, UK? Good morning from LA. What about TPS from Nepal? Please advise. You have TPS. What do you mean? Do you mean specifically if it's something different going to happen for TPS for Nepalese? Let's see here. Pull up the USCIS page. Yeah, sometimes things can update, especially when the government's trying to remove the designation for a specific country. What I see here is, let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, if you're new to the channel, then you might not know this, but I always like to share what I'm talking about. Okay, so UK asked what's going on with TPS in Nepal. And so right here it says alert, the termination of TPS for Nepal and Honduras will not take effect until further notice, because if I recall, President Trump was trying to take that away. Okay, and it says there's a lot to say. There's a lawsuit about it. And eligible TPS beneficiaries who would like an EAD with an extended validity date of December 31st, end of this year, you have to file the application. Okay, 765. Okay, yeah, but a quick thing about TPS that could be helpful for you is that you have to file the during the registration period. Okay, because a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, it's like a year from now. I'll take care of it later. But why wait? It's available, 'cause especially, several countries were been recently designated. Like I know Venezuela is about what, a year ago by now, for example. So you got to take advantage of it. I remember like Cameroon. There's a couple other ones as well. It seems like it's been adding more and more recently. Okay. Let's see, Nicaragua. Nicaragua, I'm seeing here. But you have to have physical presence by a certain date. Okay. So there was just another one recently. Can't remember which country it was, but basically because people can ask, I'm going to pull up Ukraine, for example. Okay. Uh-huh. You're welcome, UK. Got a little squeaky voice here today. But for example, for Ukraine, every country has similar situation where you have to file by a certain time and you have to show continuous physical presence in the U.S. since a certain time. So for Ukraine, it says April 19th, 2022. So that means if anyone's entering America who's Ukrainian after that time period, you're not going to be able to apply for TPS, not UPS, not sponsored for this video. Although that would be cool. So hopefully that helps in that sense. Understanding TPS. Just so this is just a common theme, folks. We get a lot of calls about people who are seeking status, of course, or trying to protect their status and protect the eligibility to file for status, meaning not waiting 1 year after your visa is available. We get a lot of calls about that because a lot of people don't understand the visa bulletin, and that's completely understandable because it's really confusing. Okay, every day I look at it, and along with the team, we just kind of hash it out because there's a lot of dates on the visa bulletin, so we just got to make sure that people are still eligible. So with that being said, we do have a video about the visa bulletin. I'm not sure if it's easy on your end to search for it, but we do have one from I think a year ago. So please check that out. It's very detailed. And let's see. But back to the main topic for today. It's about PD. Oh, our favorite acronym for the past year, prosecutorial discretion. Now, unfortunately, I don't want to say it's not available for everyone, but it's. I would say this is probably your last, quote unquote, your last chance. Okay, because the Biden administration understands that it will be difficult to pass immigration reform. Look, it's already been 2 years. So, with that being said, well, first, let me take a step back. Prosecutorial discretion always exists within the government system. Okay. They can close out your case. So, if you're watching this for the first time, you're wondering what the heck is PD? Why do I need to know about it? This is really for folks who have a case in court, immigration court. The formal name is Executive Office of Immigration Review, acronym EOIR. But yeah, if you don't know about immigration court, then that's a good thing for you because you don't have a case there, most likely. Hope not. But anyway, if you have an active case or inactive per se, meaning like administratively closed, then this episode right now is for you. Okay. And also for folks that have a removal order it could be from last year. There's no time restriction. Okay. Now people are asking, well, isn't there a lawsuit against this PD PD what's it called, memo? Okay, from Director or Secretary Doyle. Okay, and that was back in April. Okay, yes, that's when the memo first came out. But it said that this lawsuit right here. Okay, it says that the Biden's enforcement memo. Okay, let me take another. There's so much to share. Let me take another step back. Okay, even though there's a lawsuit that says, okay, we got to put on hold this enforcement memo, that does not mean that PD is dead. It's still alive, folks. You got to take advantage of it, okay? Especially during the Biden administration. because it's more expansive than how President Obama had it. Okay. And I believe, just my personal thinking, okay, not having any connection to the White House, okay, is that because it's more expansive to include people who have removal order in the past, because they know immigration reform is very low, has very low chances to pass. Okay. Right now it's 50-50 in terms of um, 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans in the Senate. um, who knows? That could change one way or the other, right? And just about in a couple weeks, we'll find out very soon, for better or worse. But that's why, regardless which side has more Republicans or more Democrats, you still have to contact your elected official. Don't assume that they, not just talking about immigration, but just don't assume that just because a Democrat or just because a Republican that they are going to vote for what you want. Okay. Okay, because some Republicans don't follow. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but some Republicans, most Republicans, seem to really follow the Trumpism. Okay, the Trump platform. Which who the heck really even knows what the Trump platform really means? That guy is all over the place. He clearly changes his mind like every hour. And then, but yeah, Democrats, same thing. Just because a Democrat's in office doesn't mean that they're going to vote for what you want. It's difficult, right? They could. There's just so many causes, concerns, and issues around the, not just America but around the world. So, anyways, but back to PD. It's alive, folks. Take advantage of it. Now, this lawsuit that has essentially put aside this enforcement memo is more about the priorities. Okay, if they're saying, okay, if they have limited ICE personnel officers, okay, going to people's homes, going to people's workplace to what we call execute, to take action on a removal order, even even without that enforcement memo, they have limited resources. Okay, they have limited personnel. I mean, think about your local store. They have less people working. I'm sure you noticed. It's just all around, the neighborhoods, right? There's less people working. So what does that mean? It's also with USCIS, right? That's one in the State Department, consulates, embassies. That's why it's difficult to get your case moving along the next step. So they've just really delayed a lot of cases. Let's see here. So, mhm. Yeah. So the thing is that you need to take advantage of this, because a lot of people call us about PD and wonder, okay, well, how soon will we get a response? When I've noticed, based on our experience and speaking with colleagues, that when there is a removal order, the government, Department of Homeland Security, is going to be slower to say something, to share their position, whether they're going to join the motion to terminate your case or not. And it's really because there's no urgency, right? Because there's no active case. There's no court hearing coming up very soon. Whereas, of course, they're going to respond quickly. Like, we've received responses in like less than 24 hours before. So obviously, our legal team cannot promise that for your case, especially when there's a removal order. Um, if you speak to lawyers before, we don't like to promise a lot of things, unfortunately. It's just the honest truth, because things, we can't control the other side. We can only control what we can, and that's our own timing to file that request, or file a case itself, okay, to the government, um, or reduce our own internal processing, which is a benefit in our membership plans. We have Light, Pro, and Max. Max is typically, we can file your case within 30 days of your hire date. Not very, let me take that. Very few law firms or lawyers commit to this type of filing deadline, because I understand they don't want to stress themselves out, but your legal status matters. Our mission is to help you live and work in America freely and legally. Okay, so that means we need to help you get your legal status sooner. At the same time, you need to take action to call a lawyer. It does not have to be us. I'm just here to share knowledge. If you have any questions about certain things, we're happy to point you in the right direction. But there's so many lawyers. You need to, I think I have an episode from 2 years ago about different factors, what to consider when you hire a lawyer. But I feel like I kind of talk about it almost every day. So let's see. But if you have any questions, comments, let me know where you're watching this from. Drop in the comment section. Greatly appreciate it. We do offer a secret code towards the end of the show, so you can unlock those free 15-minute consultation with one of our attorneys. Now, unfortunately, though, depending on your case type or your question, um, our cares team will try to help you the best they can. Of course, they cannot provide legal advice. Keep that in mind. They're not lawyers on the cares team. However, we do have meetings, if not every day, several days a week. Okay, so we do talk about the legal concerns, and we do that because we want to save time. If there's a way that if unfortunately there's not a way that we can legally help you, then typically we'll share the response to the cares team, and they'll share that directly with you. Okay, but here's the other thing. I greatly appreciate all the calls, but there's limited spots because the main chunk of the day we're working on cases, okay, and having meetings with the team, each department. So with that being said, we appreciate we've had some people no show, and so it's very unfortunate because there's a wait time for people who are been waiting for a time to speak with a lawyer. So if you're going to schedule an appointment with us, we greatly appreciate it, but please show up. We send multiple appointment reminders, things like that. It's even my dentist. I just went to a dentist a couple of days ago, and I got like a reminder almost every day. I'm like, "Yo, what's going on? Why are you gonna send so many reminders?" And they say that a lot of people don't show up. And I was thinking that is the same for us. I mean, most people show up for us. But anyway, we greatly appreciate you considering us to answer your legal question, maybe even solving your immigration problem or prevent it in the first place. But if you do schedule, please show up. Okay, our team would really feel a lot better because our cares team to really do the best they can to help find a time slot for you in the calendar. Okay, but anyway, if you are not able to call in, you can go to our website, greencardguys.com, click on contact us, to click on take quiz, answer a couple questions so we have a better idea of your case. And there's an option, a last question on the form. If you want to upload any documents, like if you've been denied before, unfortunately, or have a request for evidence or notice of intent to deny, which if you have that, you definitely need to talk with a lawyer as soon as possible. Okay, because the timing to file that response is 30 days. Okay, so you do not want to wait on that. All right. And even when you do consider speaking with a lawyer about notice of intent to deny or even RFE, it's pretty straightforward. I don't want to um, say you don't need to hire a lawyer or speak with one, but with that being said, of course, you're still speaking with a lawyer to understand it better. But in the meantime, anything that they're asking for, USCIS, I mean, that they're asking for, go ahead and start collecting that. Okay, gather it. Okay, start writing your story because a lot of situations. Um, the first step the law firm is going to say is, okay, give me XYZ document. So you might as well have it ready, okay, as you're looking for a lawyer. Now, it'll be our pleasure to see if we can help you. But of course, we can't help everyone. It just depends on the situation. Like, I don't know, what was it? Someone had an interview, I think, like 2 days from the day they called. That's just not possible for us. You gotta call a lawyer in advance. And maybe he did, but they didn't want to they didn't want to go attend it. So I don't know. So, anyways, we would love to help you all, but it just depends on the situation. And let's see what else about notice of intent to deny. So typically, okay, just a quick thing because I know the topic is PD, but PD's alive. But the notice of intent to deny, okay, that's basically the USS being very nice to you, saying, "Look, 99% we're leaning towards saying denied." Okay, marking your file closed and giving you a denial letter, but we'll give you this one sliver of chance, okay, to respond to this request, this notice of intent to deny, and provide us XYZ document and tell us what's up with these discrepancies and these answers from the interview. Okay, they're not going to tell you word for word what to do, but when you see a big, whether small or a big section about inconsistencies in your answers, red alert, okay, folks? You need to start writing and explaining, why there's a difference in the discrepancies. And folks, there was a case I took over many years ago, and there was a lot of inconsistencies. They hired a different lawyer. That lawyer did not practice immigration law, so I was just a little, that rubs me along wrong way because someone asked me to take a criminal case. I'm not going to do that. Like I don't. That's not my practice area, right? So when you consider a lawyer, please for immigration, pick one that only does immigration, mostly at least. So, anyways, the concern here is that since the lawyer didn't know what he was doing about this, he had the clients, prepare a letter, of course, and then had the worst. The thing is that he had them sign the same letter. Come on now, you got to write two different letters, okay? So I know you guys put a lot of trust in attorneys. Unfortunately, there's some bad apples out there. So you got to write two separate letters. Okay, off my little rant there. We try to think of best interest for the client. Faisal, what's going on? I think you commented the other day. Welcome back. Okay, after interview, uh, CO, co or joint sponsor form A64, IRS individual get transcript. You already submitted it. Required document within the last year or last year's document. Okay. And then you said, next comment, you said, me and your fiance relationship since 2016. Well, that's pretty good. And engaged 2019. Great. Wonderful. Oh, now it's 2022. My goodness. You have all the proof for evidence of relationship. That's great. I think I may have an idea of what your question could be, but let me know what it is. It sounds like I'm assuming you're already here in the US, and are you already married? You already have the K1 visa approved, Faisal? Is that true, or you're still waiting abroad? If you're still waiting abroad, I don't remember your comment from last time this week, but my friend, if you're still waiting abroad and you're still waiting for K1, you need to give us a call. Okay, let's just like to understand your case better because typically we would file a lawsuit. Can't say for everyone, but based on delay of a fiance visa, not when the case is typically a petition pending, but typically in this scenario after the petition's been approved for at least a year. Okay, it sounds like. I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't say when you filed your application here in the comment, but I mean, I suspect that got engaged 2019, that you likely filed it maybe 2020. So even then, that's still 2 years. That's right. Okay, your case is Pakistan under admin processing 13 months. That's right. Okay, that's way too long, Faisal. I'm not sure if you called in yet, but consider it. Okay, I hope there's a way we can help you. Think about it, and or have your fiance call in. Otherwise, because we do have other strategies, folks. If you're not able to, I mean, you've already gone through the whole process already, Faisal, but pretty much. But folks, if you're in a other situation where you have not even filed your case, or maybe you filed your case but has been still petition processing, you may want to consider getting married. And no, you don't actually have to be in person for that. Here's a hot tip. Okay. Let me share it right now with y'all. Utah County, Utah. That is the place to go online to apply for marriage license, because US laws have to recognize the local laws. Okay. I don't know why in that particular county they did it. Maybe a whole bunch of people wanted to get married there, but check it out. We've had several clients get approved based on that. All right. So, and I know other attorneys have as well. So if you're stuck waiting, like you're saying, like, okay, yeah, technically we're still in pandemic, but it's been a couple years already, and but you're still like, maybe because of work, you can't get out there in that country, or your fiance can't come to here in America. Think about the remote marriage, virtual marriage. It's a possibility for you. Here's the thing. Do not delay on getting your status, which means at least filing your case. And then if after you file your case and you think it's taking too long, give us a call. Give us a shout. We're here to help. Okay, if we think it's too early to file a lawsuit, for example, we're not going to do it. We're not going to offer you a quote. We're not going to, we're very transparent in the timing of things. It wouldn't make sense for us to hire. Maybe another law firm will say, be gung ho and say, yeah, yeah, of course, we'll help you. We'll file it. But we're different. Okay, we want the best interest of you. Okay, even though may not be a client at the moment, and it's because it would be a bad scenario if we file a lawsuit and the government says, Ting Law Group, this is not what we consider unreasonable delay, right? So keep that in mind. That'd be a waste of money for you. So we really think about that. We're very diligent in the timing of filing. All right. So I hope that's something you can appreciate. Faisal, you said that okay, you got the notice of action number one, March 22. That's when you filed it. No, NOA number two, you got approval 2020. Okay, and then your interview was 2021. That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's time, my friend. It's time to really consider it. Give us a call, okay, if you have a moment. Or, I mean, you're in Pakistan, maybe WhatsApp. You can send us a WhatsApp message to a different number. Sorry, we can't have a bunch of numbers. There's just too many to keep track of. But there it is 346-330-5888. You can send it there, Faisal. Or we can have your fiance call in to either of these numbers. We're happy to help. Okay, and I think you had another comment. Your fiance came to Pakistan in 2019 when you're then you got I'm assuming you had some kind of ceremony in your culture. So that's good to know. Let's see here. Yep, exactly, Olga. They're just government's just washing their hands, said, "Thanks for the interview. Glad to talk to you for 5 minutes, but I'll tell you about your case later on. I'll email you something." And then when they email you something, it's a request for 50 DS 5535. What the heck is that? Why do they need it? Why? Like it, I don't understand. Let me find that form for you. It is very frustrating. Okay. Let me find that form for you. So if for y'all folks that don't know what this is, it's a bunch of ridiculousness. Okay. If I pull this up and you guys, Faisal, you need the lawsuit. You're right. Okay. Contact us. Again, we're just one of many law firms that can help you. So it doesn't have to be us, but you just need to take action on your case, buddy. Okay, so let's see here. So if there's other folks out there watching this, whether live or later on during the day, and you're listening to this, if you're in a similar situation, maybe you didn't have to wait 13 months, but you're like 6 months, even 2 months after administrative your case has been put in administrative processing, and you're ready to provide all those documents you needed, and they still did not. Oh, it's frustrating. Yeah, you may want to consider a lawsuit against the immigration agencies, okay, of America. All right. You did not have to do that? Okay. What did they ask you for then? Okay. You don't have to put it out here, but that's something that our cares team will ask you. Okay, but let me share this form that they have been asking some folks. Okay, let me make it bigger, larger. Okay, supplemental questions for visa applicants and the estimated burden of time, 60 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, name, date of birth. Have you traveled to any country other than your country of residence in the last 15 years? 15 freaking years? Why would they need to know that? Okay, well, think about that, folks. 15 years? Are they suspecting you for terrorism activity? Maybe, maybe not. But if that was the case, you know, that it'd be really strange because a lot of people I know don't fit the profile of a terrorist. But hey, I don't know anything about terrorists. Um, okay, you really got to be careful about that. By the way, there is a federal law about helping someone. They call it what do you call it? Terrorism material support bar. I learned that during law school. You really want to be careful. So if there's someone from your country or your old neighborhood from your country. You need to know more about them, okay, before you get yourself in a pickle of federal jail or Guantanamo Bay. Okay, it's serious. If you're letting someone stay at your home, make sure you know them very well. Okay, I really recommend that. Okay, so let me show the form to you again. I can talk about that a different day. Country of your passport. They want to know your brothers and sisters. including full half step and adopted, living or dead. That I'm sorry I said it that way, but deceased. They want to know your children, not your born children, stepchildren, adopted children. Okay. Um, your spouses, current or previous, civil or domestic. Okay, at least they're inclusive. Civil or domestic partner, living or deceased. They want to know the last 15 years of your addresses. Okay, all your phone numbers, all your emails, and all your social media. Blah blah blah. Okay, you get the point. A bunch of ridiculousness. Okay, so I'm sorry that you have to go through this. I know I'm ranting, but you need to take action. If you just have a feeling, you're like, man, what would John Ting think or Ting Law Group think? If you think it's taking a long time, give us a call, send us a message. We'll let you know if it's your case has exceeded that time period where it's considered unreasonable delay. Okay. Or even if the other situation about this is, even if you have what's it called, received a visa refusal or your case of denied, there could be opportunity that you can file a lawsuit as well based on arbitrary and capricious decision, erroneous decision. So consider that. It's not just about delays in general, but you need to get your status. Okay. Um, but for those who are having fake marriages or whatever like that, sorry, can't help you. Um, but back to PD. Okay. Sorry, got a little excited based on Faisal's question. Sorry about that. But back to PD, prosecutorial discretion. Okay, if you have a case in court, because we get a lot of calls like this, they say they talk to a bunch of lawyers. They all say no, no, no. It's not worth it. I mean, that's up to you. I think personally, if I were in this position and I know that if you read the memo or just like how expansive it is in general and how it's including people who have a removal order, you want to take a look at that because it hasn't been like that in the past, at least back in President Obama days. Okay. And so, look, especially when this is really for folks that we can help people who have what we call like immediate relative classification. The most common one, I don't want to say popular, but most common one is getting married to a US citizen. So we know a lot of folks, a lot of y'all that come calling in, you have been married for a long time, actually. It's not like you just got married recently or something. So you have plenty of evidence to show, which we like to provide to the Department of Homeland Security, the government attorneys. Not everything, okay, not the kitchen sink, but we will guide you through that document checklist. But it's not just a marriage certificate. So of course you could try on your own, but that's not just a marriage certificate. Okay, so for us, as a two-step process, let's call it the Texas two-step. Okay, the first step. I'm not gonna dance for y'all right now, but maybe on TikTok. Which, by the way, here it is. I do have a account profile. I'm not as good at updating a quick little video every day. I just unfortunately don't have time for that. But hey, if you're already on TikTok, please give it a follow. I greatly appreciate Green Card Guys _John. Alrighty, and let's see. Faisal, no, sir, no, not a fake relationship, true relationship. Great. I'm glad to hear that. Because I think I said this the other day, this week, is that if the government, USS, believes you're in a fake relationship, look, and they're going to put in the denial letter, there's been determination of marriage fraud. I'm sorry. You're not going to get an immigration benefit, aka green card, in the future. So you really need to reconsider if you're one of those folks thinking about, well, my friend said help me out, get married. No, no, don't do it, please. Don't do it because the government's really smart. Okay, they can sniff it out. I can sniff it out. Okay, even when people don't tell me, you can tell by body language. It's very, very easy. So don't do it. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me finish that statement. It's very easy to sniff out if a marriage or a case file is fake or not. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but I've been able to sniff it out. So I train my team to do the same as well. So if I can do it and my team can do it, and my team including non-lawyers, then for sure USCIS officers can sniff it out. Okay. And so, really, you need to reconsider that. Okay. I guess that's the second part of the spooky series as we approach Halloween. Hey, what are y'all dressing up as? Let me know in the comments if you're dressing up. I wonder, for those who are outside America, do y'all celebrate Halloween at all? Any version of it? Um, in the meantime, I'm going to share with you the secret code. Here are the benefits of hiring our team. We're very intentional to share it. Most law firms, I believe, don't share it. I spoke at a conference about this and everyone looked at me funny. But yeah, there was a secret code. Green Card Guys, you could have guessed it. Even if you're new to the channel, we greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below and smash the like button if you appreciate the way we share content and sharing knowledge to solve your immigration problem. Okay, folks, let's see here. I don't see any more comments, but Faisal, buddy, give us a call. Send us a message. We'll see if we can help you, okay? Greatly appreciate it, folks. And tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.